Phew. What a move. What a move.
This is special, an immortal blitz chess idea, the likes of which I've never seen, nor has anyone else in the chess community for a very long time, if ever. It was revealed to us on Title Tuesday, a weekly online event for only the strongest grandmothers in the world. Playing with the white pieces, we had Jan-Krzysztof Duda, the Polish #1, but his opponent, the grandmother to end all grandmothers, is Magnus Carlsen, the Norwegian #1, greatest of all time. This is a special game. Let's dive right in. So we see E4 on the board, best by test, an aggressive Sicilian from Magnus. The knight develops, E6, open Sicilian game selected, and A6 starts the Wrath of Khan. You take away squares from the minor pieces, but you do weaken dark squares. That's why we soon see, after the Maroczy bind setup, the knight's developing Queen C7, keeping an eye on those chocolate squares. A3 stops bishop B4, maybe you expand with the pawn one day. Magnus prepares to fianchetto, they both get their bits out, great etiquette, pawn attacked, defended. That's the level of quality you get on this channel. Do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And now after D6, the shaven pawn structure, hardest word to say in chess. We get rook C1 staring at the queen, the knight develops, and already move 10, 11, we've reached the moment here where we see an idea I've never seen before, right? You know, what's everyone and his dog playing here? Bit of bishop E2, maybe queen D2, prepare to get the king to safety. Maybe you go B4 if you're feeling frisky, or chuck one of these guys. Those are the kind of normal moves, right? But what does Jan-Krzysztof do? He plays the outlandish king to D2. Must be a mouse slip. Where's he headed with that guy? It's going to be revealed, because after bishop E7, we get king C2. And it now becomes obvious exactly where that king is walking, headed. And so Magnus heads off the idea, castles the king. You can no longer go chomp chomp in the corner here. So of course you play king b1, or at least that's what we're all begging for. It's the aesthetic move, right? Keep Lord Hans Feingold happy. But g4 is played, and it's actually the top engine move. King b1 was second line. Kramnik's seen enough by this point.
Okay, let's do the procedure. Block. This is first what I do.
Now we finally get king b1 after the knight hits e5, and you can't win a pawn here, or else takes. Queen takes. I thought knight d5 must be the idea, but actually no. Knight a4 or knight c to e2, even stronger, because the queen is checkmated. Absolutely in jail. Very cool line. So don't touch the pawn. Magnus instead brings the cannon to the center. G5. You can't put the knight here, by the way, or F4. You're going to lose one of those ponies. So Magnus steps back. And now H4. Andrea starts spinning the beats. What an aggressive fight we've got here. And Magnus fights back with the cool and calm Queen B8. Just opening the rook to attack the pawn. Yes, we've seen the outlandish king walk, but don't go anywhere, because wow, what a game, what a finish to come. Now we don't see Duda defend the pawn here by moving this knight. Instead, he plays h5, pure aggression. Magnus does take the pawn. Bishop's going to drop. So we see this one take. Rook recaptures. And now g6 is the thematic move, right? If you'd gone h6, then black can close things with g6. This one rips it open by force. Magnus plays the best response, developing that bishop into the game. We get takes with check, and you can technically take with the king, then also defend this pawn. But Magnus goes like this, scared to leave the cubbyhole. With this guy, you could definitely take this pawn right now, but instead h6 selected, first trying to rip open lines. You could take the knight now, but then you give up the bishop pair. So instead we see g6. Now the pawn collapses. Big attack coming from Duda, but first Magnus tries to mix it up
mushrooms
by smashing off this knight here. Now why would he give up the bishop when he's just weakened all these dark squares? Well, he's envisaging this, and then this, and then this, and this kind of thing, and you create counterplay, split pawns, the stuff coming to the c file maybe, or d5 soon. You know, black's got play here. But Duda finds the absolutely awesome knight to g5, hitting the rook on f7, and you can't actually move this bishop on c3, or the rook on c4 drops, it's unprotected. So Magnus saves the rook, and now after queen b3, the point of these tactics is really revealed, because the king is open, the rook's not on f7, the knight's converging. I mean, this is awesome chess. d5 is played to try and close the diagonal. Now we see takes. Sure, you could take, but Magnus goes instead for b5 to support this guy, prepare this, and Duda just says, you know what, I'm going to bring all the pieces to the party here, attack this knight down here, create some pressure. Magnus goes queen c7, trying to support, trying to protect, and it's at this moment we see a move almost as bold and powerful as the time that Yasser Serwan said, Leslie, grab me my Hawaii shirt, we're going running. This is truly special. Duda looks like a lady. What a move. Crisscross pins going on. If you take this one, a queen is being offered. Well, then you take here. This guy's still hanging. So let's say rook c4. And then you take here. So actually, the queen is immune. You've got problems. So instead, we see knight e5. Best response, supporting this one. Now we get rook takes on c4. The knight recaptures. Bishop centralizes. And after takes here, it's a stunning game so far from Duda. But he just misses the move. b3 is best to kick this knight. And you retain an initiative. But instead, he takes here. Now Magnus can take with check. King a1, the bishop drops back, and after bishop f6 hitting the rook, retreating, queen c3, we are back to a level game. Look at Ival Barovic over here, not much to choose, but Magnus now goes wrong. He should play queen c5, best move, but he picks up the wrong piece. And just before I show you that move, a quick shout out once again to the sponsors of this video today, Chessbook, an absolutely phenomenal one-stop shop opening tool. I've been using it myself for about 2 years. First did sponsorship about 1.5 years ago. You know, I keep going on about this great tool. It helps you practice your openings by bringing in your own games from Lead Chess, chess.com. Then it shows you how you can improve your repertoire, where you're going wrong, and it keeps bringing in new game data as you go along. Plus then it shows you the themes of the position, right? It's like having a grandmaster next to you. Where do the pieces belong? Why do they belong there? Giving you the narrative, everything like that. And it's cheap, right? Cup of coffee a month, barely even that. Really, really powerful. Helps you take your opening knowledge to the next level through that repetition and constant improvement. Give it a go. Link in the description. You know the drill. Trust me, give it a try. Free to get started. Back to this game here. What did Magnus do? He goes rook e3, and look at the rise of the bar here. Stock Clam hates it because now you can centralize powerfully and the king is in a mating net. You can't escape here, of course, and you're threatening to check on the back rank. Queen takes, rook takes, then you can only block with a rook, but you just take, you're mated. So Magnus has to scurry back, tail between his legs, but now the deadly, powerful check is landed in the center, and what to do? If you sidestep here, your only legal square to go to with the king, well then there's this check and you're toast. You know, if queen takes, well you're also recapturing with check, attack rages on, it's mating 8 moves from here. And just coming back, if you don't take with the queen, in fact, let's go back to the game. If you intercept the check like this, which is what we see played in the game, well now, of course, knight takes and you've just won a piece. There aren't enough defenders. It's hopelessly lost. So Magnus tried this one, covering the diagonal, also attacking the queen, but fine. This. None of Magnus's fans impressed. Bishop is attacked here, saved on g7, rook under fire, and we just saw resignation. And we don't really need to show why or lines. You know, white is an entire piece up here. It's going to be a mop-up job for players of this caliber, and Duda's up on the clock. Truly special game from him. I loved that one. Loved the king walk there. Let me know if you did too. And have a look in the description. Chessbook, check it out. Truly awesome. And if you want more epic chess, then have a look at the video on screen. Cheers.